So guys, I've literally got the computer back, sent from BoxFX, where me and PC CENTRIC sat there and basically built you, well not sat there, we actually got to work and built you two lovely PCs, knowing that this one had the problem, which was my one. And basically I've got it here now to do some tests, so I'm going to test it probably with an SSD and an NVMe drive to make sure that motherboard's okay. If it's not okay, then we'll get RMA'd. So let me go through a few points what we tested. It's quite a long bit of like stuff that you need to normally do. So first off, what went wrong is that we connected it via display port and connected to the monitor, and then we had no screen, no display, no nothing. Then the motherboard and everything was all lights and everything is all perfectly working, all fans and everything like that, power supply, everything was working. Then we thought, okay, let's just keep cycling through the monitor, let's put it through automatic mode. So that's what we did, and we still had the problem. So what we did is we changed the lead to 1.4, or it might have been the display port to HDMI. So the HDMI went into the monitor, and then the display port went into the graphics card, and hey presto, we had graphics. So that was okay, so nothing was wrong there. And then everything was fine. Then we booted and used Windows 10, and then went into the BIOS to obviously update it and literally go through like the normal steps of putting like formatting your drive, and then obviously putting an operating system on there. So Marcus, he got the USB stick and then he plugged it straight into the front of the case, and then it started running Windows operating system, no problem. And when it got to the first bit, you know, the initial bit, if you don't know, then Google it or something, but the initial first bit, that was good. And then all of a sudden it will just hang when it obviously turned off and turned back on to do the next part. So that's where the problem started to lie. Everything was all checked, all cables, like the EPS connector 8-pin up there, the 8-pin PCI graphics connector there, 24-pin, making sure like because they're normally a 20-pin and a 4-pin, they weren't like separated, that was all in there. USB 3 was properly connected, HD audio was proper connected, front AI for the front there, literally everything was connected properly. And also the CPU was definitely seated properly and everything like that, and everything's connected with the CPU air coolers, and so no overheating, no throttling or nothing. Everything was cooling down, no hot spells or hot spots on the motherboard or on anything else. Then we decided to keep testing the Windows 10 operating system to see if we can get it going. That went on for about half hour, 45 minutes, while PC CENTRIC, or Marcus, was actually building his computer, because obviously I finished before him. And I wanted to make sure that everything's okay, because technically he was going to do slightly different overclocking to what I do, and then we were going to talk about tips and tricks. And it was so annoying that he actually like basically finished and done his overclocking and had all his software done and everything like that, and this one wouldn't run. So this is the computer that was being built with PC CENTRIC, which is Marcus Cole, and basically he done his computer and then I was doing another one, so we got two chances to win the exactly the same computers. So 2600X with 16 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz RAM, an RX 570 graphics card, and a lovely Asus 470 something X motherboard. Can't really remember everything, but everything's all in there, and I got it sent back so I can do some further tests, because obviously we ran out of time when we were down at BoxFX. Technically we were meant to finish computers at the same time, bench test them, and then match a bench test together to see who had the further overclocks, but it didn't work that way. Obviously I finished the computer first, and then Marcus carried on and ended up winning, obviously getting his computer working, sorting the software out, even down to doing benchmarks, and it was really cool. But I didn't get to go any further because obviously something was hanging. So let me tell you the story. So it goes with Windows 10 operating system. So Marcus just plugs it into the front of the case, starts running, no problem whatsoever. Then it hangs. So what we did is we spent another half hour to 45 minutes trying to sort out Windows 10. Then what else happened is that we got another USB, and that was Windows 10, and we thought that the other one, something went wrong with it, like the boot CMG or some boot manager or something else happened to the drive, but it shouldn't have, because technically when Marcus used it in his computer, it worked straight away and it was fine. So he plugged it straight into this computer, and then it didn't work after the first initial bit. The first initial bit was good, but the second initial bit wasn't, because it was hanging. So the next bit we had to do is get another Windows 10 operating system, put that in there, check it, still the same thing, still the same thing, still the same thing. So then we started to use, even before that, before we could even do the Windows 10, the computer was not even displaying anything on the monitor, and it was using a display port. So display port from here to display port into the monitor did not work. So what we did is change the cable over to HDMI for the monitor and display port for the computer. Then we got, hey presto, we got a display. So that was good. But then obviously putting the Windows operating system, the first USB operating system, that's when it ran through the first progress, and then literally just started hanging when it went to go to the second process to install everything. So then we used another Windows 10 operating system USB, and it still had the same problems, exactly what we did before. So this time we used a firmware update to see if that will clean the motherboard and fix it. The firmware went on there, then we still had the problem because it was still hanging. We could not get anywhere further. We can only get in the BIOS, and not all the time getting the BIOS. There were so many problems happening. So then we unplugged all the cables to see if that was anything. Nothing. So technically we think it might be the motherboard, or it's down to the NVMe. So my job is there to test this SSD or the NVMe to make sure that it works, because if it doesn't, if it still doesn't work and it's just like the Samsung NVMe 970 Evo Pro, we can swap that out and then put another operating system on there for you guys. If not, then we'll have to RMA the actual motherboard off, so that'd be a bit annoying. But we'll hope to get this competition and get this PC out hopefully before Christmas. If not, hopefully before the new year, or sometime early in the new year. So fingers crossed. So I'm about to test this out now, and it's like the 21st of December today, but it's still quite early, so I could get back to Be Quiet and find out if any of the components don't work. Then I can get it RMA'd and get another bit, get the computer fixed and get it sent out for next day delivery, depending on who's winning. But the competition, obviously this is part 2, so I don't know how we're going to run it. I haven't even spoken to Marcus yet to find out when he's posting the first video. Oh, it's just a bit of a mission. So I'm just going to get on with it and then see how we get on. I'm going to get an NVMe and then use that and see if that's the problem. Which probably means that I'll have to take the graphics card out and somehow I might be able to get under the... somewhere under the motherboard. Right, there's my USB anyway, so hopefully I can do that. So first off, I need a screwdriver. Let's get on. So basically, just going to time-lapse it so I can plug everything in and see if I can get it running. If I can get it working past stage 1, which is the operating system, that's cool, we know it does that, but then it hangs in the second post. Hopefully I'll just let it run from there, but obviously I'll do that in video editing, and it'll be history me and future me at the same time, or something like that. Anyway, let's get on with the time-lapse. Right, here we go. So it's all plugged in. Not everything is all as like it wasn't at the start when I've done the video, but most of it, the majority is plugged in because I want to check to see if the other NVMe works. Technically, I never really had a failed version of a Samsung Evo 970, but we don't know, so we need to test everything. So I've put another NVMe in. Now I'm going to put a USB in for Windows 10 and turn on the computer to see what happens. Right, now we're going to take the battery out and do a Cmos reset. See if that helps. Normally it does fix most cases, so the battery's out of my hand. Let's see if this works. Oh my god, we have a display. Maybe that memory wasn't in properly from shipping. Right, okay. Now we can try to do things now, see if it works. Right, now just to put the USB operating 10 system in there and then turn it on. And then make sure everything's okay, like hopefully the whole Windows 10 goes on there, because if it does, that means that this is actually faulty. And then we'll have to get another one. But if it's not, then the motherboard's faulty. And if the motherboard's faulty, still have to get a new one to give away for this competition. So, yeah, hoping everything works properly. In fact, yeah, I'll put the second RAM stick in there. So hopefully it will come on, because technically it worked without it just a second ago. So it might be the RAM stick that's faulty. But I'm sure I did check that on video last time. Right, I'm guessing it's one of the memory sticks. So let's try this again and take one out. I know which one I think is a good one that I started with just a second ago. So let's take this one out. Right, let's try it now. That's one stick that's out. Forget a white light down the bottom and now it's working. But I did have the Cmos battery out. There we go, it's working. Alright, let's run Windows to see if it works. Time-lapse. Right, so hopefully this will work. I just remembered I took out the Samsung NVMe 970 Evo. And technically this was doing this before, but if there was a faulty memory and this at the same time, at least we'll know, like, it could be the memory or it could be this. So hopefully it's just the memory, because then it will just be easier. Then I can put this one back in. And this is where it just crashed and hanged. It wouldn't even run Windows 10 operating system on there. And it looks like it's going to do it. So if we can get full-blown Windows on here right now, it didn't even do this before. So please, fingers crossed. Then we can just try it. And then the next thing we'll do is try it with the NVMe by Samsung and see what that does. So this is where well, actually we've got past this stage, and then it hanged at the front of this monitor. Not this monitor, but our Box FX. So hopefully it should be fine. And this is where it hanged, and then it didn't go any further. And this is the furthest I've seen it go, this computer so far. Oh my god. And we thought, okay. Yes! Right, use express settings. Just a moment. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we have Windows. So obviously it could be this or it could be that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one in now, because we know that everything works, but we want to try this out because this is what you're meant to be winning, like one of the fastest NVMe's on the planet. Now to put this in, the NVMe. Actually, before I do that, I need to take this one out. Look how small that is compared to that one. Absolutely crazy. that white light in the corner here. Yes! Right, okay. Let's see if it runs Windows 10 all the way through. If it does, Houston, we don't have a problem no more.
Rather sad. Oh yeah. Pouring up. Celebrate. All my feelings went away. Celebrate with the blue champagne. Pouring up.
So I think this motherboard is actually faulty. It's not the memory, because I've tried both memory sticks and they work, but they only work in 1 and 2, not like one, miss out one and then work. So I've even done it the opposite way around, where I've put one here instead and then one right at the back. Still didn't work. So I thought this memory might be too high because it's 3200, but then I thought no, because Marcus done the identical build and it worked fine. So I was like, okay, let me get some lower grade memory and see if that works. So put it in number 1, as you can see on the screen. It works. Now I'm gonna just turn this computer off. Then I'm going to try slot number 2, which is this one, and you'll notice that this works as well. So as you can see, it's on. Then if I move it to here, we're looking for that white light. Okay, maybe I didn't put the memory in properly. Let me do that now, just to make sure. Let's do that one more time. Okay, so let's start again. I'm going to take this memory out. So I'll get a good clunk click in there. Alright, that should work now. So looking for that white light to come on. There we go. You see the white light's on and then the screen's on. And that is in bank 2. No problems whatsoever. Windows loads up as normal. So I've already done this before, but I've just done it off the camera. So there you go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Welcome. Right, okay. So now I'll bring you back over here where it's in that same slot. Now I'm going to move over to a different slot. Bank number 3. So turning off computer. Opening up. And then slotting in bank 3, which is that one. It's nice and firm, it's in there. Turn it on. As you can see, lights are all going. Fans going. Looking for that white light. No white light. What's going on? As you can see, no white light for a good 15, 20 seconds. So now I'm going to put it into the last bank. So whiz this back over here again. Now I'm going to turn the computer off. Now to put it in bank 4, which is this one. That's nice, that's nicely in. Turn it on, as per usual. Whiz it round to the front here. Any white light? No white light again. Spin it round again to the front. Turn off computer. Then we're going to get this into the first slot again. Yep. Turn on computer. Computer's on. Whiz it round to the front again. There you go, computer's working. And that's within 5 seconds. Right, so technically, I definitely think it's the motherboard that is definitely faulty with the 2 banks, and that's why when I went to place them in the proper procedure, that's why it's not working, because you put one in and then you put another one into the second bank and it's fine. So literally 1, then 2, like literally close to each other. Then the third and the fourth do not work at all. Even when I put 1 RAM stick into 3 and 4, did not work. So I'm just going to prove to you that I've got another setup here, and I'm going to just move the memory down to 3 and 4 with 1 module and it will work. Right, so I've got a computer here, and we'll just test this out real quick. Let's see. Right, so take that glass off, put that down here, please do not break. So now I'm going to take out these RAM sticks. Come on out. I can't. There's one. And there's another one. So now with this RAM stick, it's right at the third bank, because I just tried the other RAM stick in there. So this is in the third one. So let's turn it on. Let's see if we get a screen. So the screen should be here. Should get something on there, hopefully. There we go, we have a screen. So if I just pan to the left, you can see there's information on the screen. So now turn it off and go to bank 4, which is this one. Turn it on, it should be exactly the same. Should get something on the screen right here. Three, 2, 1, here we go. Screen. Those are in 3 and 4, which doesn't work on the other motherboard. So I'll turn it off again, and I'll put it on 1 and 2 just to prove a point. Oh, right, where is one? One's here. Right, should unclip that really. Can't even get the RAM in there now. Right, there we go. That's RAM 1. Slot 1, I should say. There we go. There we go, it's on. Turn off. Then we're going to put it in the last one, which was RAM 2. And I'm going to change the RAM around so you can see I've got different RAM. I'm just going to pick this one, just randomly, or like Just mix them all up so you can see the different. Let's put this in module 2. There we go, turn on. Three, 2, 1. There we go. Screen. See? So this is where I know that the motherboard is definitely faulty now. So what I'm going to do is get it RMA'd so we can get this competition going. So there'll be part 3 of me obviously making sure everything works, and then it should be announced who will be the winner after that. So hopefully I can get this done as quick as possible, because I think it's about, what time is it? It is 4:45. So hopefully I can get a cut off time, or I'll be able to get it for Monday, Christmas Eve. So I need to speak now. Anyway, subscribe and share and like if you like this video and it was hopefully in depth enough and everything like that. At least you know what's going on, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Roger and out.
I got you under my skin, got you, yeah. Under my skin, got you, yeah. Under my skin, got you, yeah. I got you under my skin, got you, yeah. Under my skin, got you, yeah. Under my skin, got you, yeah. I got you under my skin, yeah. Got you, yeah. Under my skin, got you, yeah.